What irritates you the most? When you're minding your own business while showering and all of a sudden the curtain wants to spoon you. The I know-it-all people. There's a lot of scientific experiments that prove that the more you know, the more you understand how much you don't know. The I know-it-all people basically know nothing. Single quote. Sand. It's also coarse and rough and it gets everywhere. People in public that have no spatial awareness. Stopping dead in their tracks without considering who may be around them. Monsieur, my ex used to tell me I'm insane for getting upset about such a small thing, but it irritates the shit out of me. I will probably die earlier because of it. Or somebody else will. Being a hypocrite, no matter what you're being hypocritical about. That is the main reason I stopped going to church. I still believe in a higher power. But the constant hypocrisy and holier-than-thou mentalities really pushed me away. You can't drink alcohol and you shouldn't have gotten those tattoos. And how dare you use swear words. Now give me a second while I cheat on my wife and get blackout drunk and beat my kids. Christianity preaches love and acceptance, but where I'm from, they are always the first to judge and spread rumors. I can respect your decision to not attend church. But have you thought at all about attending a more modernized church? From the little bit I've seen, the pastors at modern churches are much more personal with the church. So hypocrisy can be at least a little less common. We have tried several different churches and just haven't found one that we feel works for us. I'd much rather live a good life and be a good person on my own. People touching me when they are talking to force me to pay attention. It only makes me ignore them more. I mean, it can be okay depending on the situation, e.g. an urgent question, or when you simply can't hear them because headphones. I too hate it when a stranger does so, or when the person is talking about hot dogs or some crap. Exactly, on non-important topics is when I hate it. Seeing loved ones being treated like garbage. Willful ignorance. Humans are fortunate to have the most capable and developed brains of the animal kingdom, and many would rather keep their knowledge level on par with goldfish. How older people have no problem calling younger people snowflakes. But the second Boomer and Karen was invented, words could suddenly hurt them. Monsieur. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words just straight up kill you. When people do something to me and expect it to go away with "I'm sorry," it's a prank or it's a joke. Can't you take a joke? Loud chewing. It will ruin a whole meal for me. When my sister walks into my closed room and always leaves the door open when she leaves. Overly dramatic people. People who just panic, or spread misinformation, and just have to make every bad situation sound much worse than it actually is. Sulfuric acid. Ghosting. It takes vulnerability to open up and present yourself to someone, let alone try to establish a relationship. If you're no longer interested in someone, please let them down honestly and gently. Don't be a dick by disappearing suddenly. People who get unnecessarily snarky with you when you want to learn something. Like, when you ask them a question, and they explain it so passive-aggressively that you don't actually learn anything. So you just wasted a conversation trying to understand something by sitting there and being talked down onto like a child instead of becoming more knowledgeable on the subject. All because they want to seem smarter, when in reality, they're just assholes who think gatekeeping knowledge is edgy and cool. Some of them just think that it's basic knowledge and you should know it already. If you get a teacher like that in school, good luck. I needed it, because I had one. I'd ask her a question and she would be like, "You learned this in 5th grade." Monsieur. No, we didn't. It's 8th grade material. I had a math teacher like that back in high school. He was so bad about that. His behavior was the last straw for me switching schools. But that was years ago. And luckily I haven't come across too many professors like that in university. At least not ones that I can't just suck up to for a good grade anyways. Arrogance. Transaction processing fees. When you order a digital product online, such as a concert ticket, you pay $16 extra while you pay online, and then have to print the ticket yourself. stupidity, and baseless conspiracy theories. LMAO. Poison ivy. Poison oak. I'm from CA. That shit messes with me big time. The older I get. 64. They're more allergic I am, monsieur. Fortunately, I haven't gotten it in about 8 years. When I picked it up petting a dog. People that get so wrapped up in themselves that they lose sight of the fact that we are all here together, all trying to make our best lives, and we all need each other's help. Shitty fathers. As a father, you're already facing an uphill battle in a custody dispute. But seeing fathers who show no interest or effort in their children's lives irritates me. I don't see my son every day and I have to fight to be present in his life. PPLTHT right like this. JES. When you're at a party and someone says to you, "You're so quiet." Quote. How do you respond to that? Screaming loudly to disprove the point. Religious extremists. So I'm an atheist, so this is probably just my opinion, but I hate people who go to pride parades to beat the shit out of people. People who force their religion onto their kids. People who will call someone out in public for having a tattoo or drinking. Asterisk. As a black man, I don't get triggered if a white guy calls me boy. I get triggered if a woman calls me boy. Asterisk. I grew up in a family that was predominantly female. My uncle was my grandmother's youngest son. I hated when my aunts talked down to him, calling him boy like he was something lower than the rest of them. Monsieur, I definitely wouldn't tolerate that from them till this day. What if a man hangs a Confederate flag on your living room wall and tells you, "You're a good one"? What's he doing in my house? He's hanging a Confederate flag in your living room, monsieur. While I completely understand your reasoning, I love how opposite words can be in people's lives. Boy is actually used affectionately in my life, regardless of the age or gender. I'm a woman and I call my 3-year-old nephew it. My mom on occasion, much old family friends, etc. It's still quite humorous to me when I say it, but I definitely understand how it can be flipped to be on the condescending side. If they didn't like it, we'd stop. I hope you don't experience it often. Yes, I was tempted to affectionately put it at the end as a joke. Hearing people eat or drink, and especially people who say, "ah," after a gulp of water. It's like a nail being driven into my brain. I had an image in my mind of a nail being placed while a guy is drinking water. And when he said, "ah," the nail got smashed in with a hammer. My brother sneezes and is immediately like ESHHHHHMMMSMMMNNNNNNNNNNN, and it's fucking annoying. Loud eating with mouth open. When you reading something and someone uses "what are you reading?" as a gateway to trap you in a conversation. I have no problem with someone asking me what I'm reading and if I would recommend it or whatever. But if you ask me what I'm reading and then immediately segue into why you think your boyfriend forgot your birthday, I might just run an ice pick through one of our brains. That is so true. Stupidity, not ignorance. No one is born knowledgeable. Also, people who talk more than necessary. Just get to the point, damn it, and do not add anything else. I talk more than necessary. I have a huge amount of nervous energy. I've still yet to figure out a way to expel in other ways. See? I tried. You've done very well, actually. Sorry if this was meant to be a joke. I am really bad at picking up jokes. I'll have to add to this. People who speak too slow, that you know what they're going to say next. You can finish the sentence for the monsieur. Dropping something after picking it up, then picking it up and dropping it again. When you are minding your business and all of a sudden your brain reminds you of the extremely embarrassing moment from the past that you forgot about, and then your day is ruined. The fly that gets the house through the eye of needle opening from a window. You open the window fully and try and waft it out, and it point blank refuses to go through the biggest gap ever. People who do not wipe down or put their equipment back at the gym. The sounds of people chewing. When someone asks me if I'm sleeping, well, I am sleeping, and then apologize after I wake up. Same. I remember when my sister walked into my room, asked me if I'm sleeping, and when I didn't answer kept calling me and repeating the question. I wasn't sleeping, but I thought that she would be smart, and me not responding would be marked as yes. Lack of accountability. Everyone has a reason to try and excuse their crap behavior, and most people are never punished for it until they do something extreme. People who act without thinking. Ants. But after a while I kinda get used to them. Also, there's one time I tried to eat bread. Little did I know it was full of ants. It was dark, so I didn't know. Took a bite, then immediately threw the bread I tried to eat in the sink. Then washed my mouth with the hose of the shower. Tasted spicy and scary. By the way, ants have a nice crunch and a little spicy. Irritation. Can't argue with that. Driving below the speed limit in the morning. My mother hates people like that. The speed limit is already too low. People acting like they are better than me when we all are pieces of shit. People. It's irritating when someone interrupts you when you're speaking. When you're dreaming and your alarm goes off. I used to have this problem, but in lucid dreams I just hear it as music in a dream. I can choose to wake up or let it ring. People asking me what irritates me the most. Donald Trump. Impatient people trying to get me to hurry stuff up. I can't control e.g. Minecraft updating and my friend won't stop telling me to hurry up. Grandfather can never just take no for an answer when it comes to food, and he asks too many questions. This is a typical conversation whenever food is involved. Are you hungry? Quote, no. So you don't want blank? Quote, no. Oh, what, you don't like blank? Quote, like, can't I just say no and that be the end of the discussion? How does me saying I'm not hungry translate to I don't like whatever he's offering me? I'm just not hungry. And this happens at least 5x a day. I used to eat a lot when I was younger, but he keeps bugging me about food now even when I tell him to leave me alone. If I say I'm not hungry, that should be the end of the story. I'm 19, I know how to feed myself. People who preach politics. It seems the more a person has to say on the subject, the less educated on the subject they actually are. And the person who will use this comment to insert a Trump jab. I get it, you don't like the guy, but I don't care about why. Please spare me the BS and ideals of what your news outlet told you to think. Just a PSA on that one. If your opinion mattered at all, they wouldn't let you voice it. You are minuscule just like everyone else. Stop pushing it on me because I don't want to be involved with the 95 million people who think that they know all the answers. Fucking flies. If you haven't already, learn how to stun them and place them in a spider web. See my previous post for details. Lol. I used to have many spider roommates. They've had to relocate lately for political reasons. I used to call them names like Dave, etc. until someone on AskReddit convinced me Cornelius was a better name for all of them. Monsieur! Exclamation mark. Team Mosquito. Spilling a cup of water. I swear I moved a bit further away. You're lucky it's just water. Any other kind of drink needs a quick and good cleaning, or else there will be a stain. Hashtag MOSQUITOES. Ducking. Men. The bites might not hurt so much or don't hurt at all nowadays, but the itching and the bump after. I had to scroll all the way down to the last post to find mosquitoes. How is that fucking possible? They can ruin just about any outdoor activity. Stupid people that think they're smart. That's all you need. Amen. Delusion also adds to that. How teens think they know everything, and don't even realize they're doing it. Probably because that was me once. Smacking is pretty bad, but people who lie to be the center of attention are the worst. Like, everyone knows you're lying. Just stop. It's embarrassing to you and us. I know so many people that are wonderful but will say anything to be part of a conversation, when like all they have to do is say something. Like, that's amazing. I wish I knew more. Instead they are like, I know all about this and am expert. Those are normally the people smacking, by the way. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.